Thank you to all of you that submitted questions on Twitter for this OTRS Central Q&A. Remember, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday brings a new Q&A episode here on OTRS Central. You want to participate, go to Twitter, tweet your questions to @OTRS Central using the hashtag OTRS Central. How original is that? This is the post-payback 2014 edition. There are a few payback questions in there and a few that aren't. Let's get started, shall we? At Chase Oliver 68. Asian Randy Orton wants to know, who is in the new version of the Breakfast Club once all the old members leave? Chase! Chase Oliver! What is wrong with you? There is no such thing as a new version of the Breakfast Club. That is if you imply that perfection could ever be replicated or duplicated. It could be maybe often imitated, yes. But it can't be those other things. One does not just simply replace Paul Levesque. One does not just simply replace Dave Bautista. One does not just simply replace Randall Keith Orton. One does not simply replace John Felix Anthony Cena. What the hell is wrong with you? There can't be a new version of the Breakfast Club once all the old members leave. Because if and when they ever decide to all leave, they take the Breakfast Club with them. Nobody could ever live up to those lofty standards. Ridiculous. Chase. What's wrong with you? Apologize in the comments for that question. How dare you? That's like saying somebody could ever measure up to Randall Keith Orton's raging ring boner, his sleeve tattoos, his construction worker beard, his baby oil infatuation. The closest you ever got was Ted DiBiase Jr.'s $1 Million Musket. Triple H with the water, maybe. The sleeve tattoos and the construction worker beard? Nobody can touch that. At Kensai Tamaki, would you say Roman Reigns just gained entry into the Breakfast Club after Payback? Let's think about this. How many world titles does Roman Reigns have? How many clean 100% pinfall victories in one-on-one matches does a Roman Reigns have over a John Cena, a Randall Keith Orton, a Triple H, a Dave Bautista? Clean one-on-one. How many pay-per-views has Roman Reigns main evented in a one-on-one capacity? Exactly. He ain't gained entry into shit. Entry into the Breakfast Club is a long, arduous journey with lots of potholes and pitfalls along the way. Reigns is not even in that category at this point. And to even imply so is ludicrousness of the highest order. Sorry, Kensai Tamaki, but that is the truth. No, he's not even close to Breakfast Club ready yet. At Matt Montminy, I think that's how I said it. Why, oh why, can't we put somebody over Cena? Do you have the answer, Schleg Daddy? I've talked about this in a few videos. Yes, there is a very simple answer to this. It is because the WWE is determined, number one, to make John Cena feel rewarded for all of his years of loyalty and service by trying to make him the greatest WWE superstar of all time. It is also about their fear after year after year after year of pounding Cena into the same spot of what they're going to do someday when Cena's not at the top spot. So they feel like, oh, we're not going to rock the boat. There's so many different answers, so many different reasons, and I've said them all before. At SA Wrestling Blog asks, so what exactly was the fucking point of that feud between John Cena and Bray Wyatt? I have also addressed this and answered this before. There was only one reason and only one. And making Bray Wyatt a big star was not one of them. And if that happened to happen, that was an unintended, I assure you, consequence. The only purpose of this feud was to give John Cena something to do for WrestleMania and a little bit after, and then give John Cena somebody to go over. Only fucking point of the feud, period. At Kitties on Crack, do you think Renee Young should be the first ever woman color commentator on Raw or SmackDown? Play-by-play commentator? Yes. Color commentator? Hell no. I don't think she has a personality, one, to be a color commentator. Number two, Renee Young, to me, to have been a color commentator, would have actually had to have been a wrestler for a period of time, which I don't believe she has been. She certainly hasn't been during her time in WWE. Play-by-play individual? I'm okay with. Color commentator? Let's not get fucking carried away here. At We Are Pro Wrestling, do you think it's pathetic that some TNA fans still use the young company excuse for TNA's shortcomings? Yes. They've been around almost 12 years. They are past the point of using the young company excuse. It's just a poor, pathetic excuse. Come up with some new shtick and material, people. At Twins of Sanity, did you ever watch Half Baked or the Chappelle Show? Yes, I've watched Half Baked more than once. And I used to watch the Chappelle Show. What do the five fingers say to the face? I'm Rick James, bitch! Charlie Murphy! Darkness! And then sadly, for some reason, Dave Chappelle went batshit crazy after he got his money. That's simply recommended. Who do you think Lesnar's opponent will be at SummerSlam? And if Bray becomes champion this year, do you think he's ready for it? Lesnar's opponent at SummerSlam will either be Cesaro or Daniel Bryan, I would assume at this point. And if Bray becomes champion this year, do I think he's ready? Not after the feud with Cena. No. Sorry. Do not. At Burn Notice 3216, who will win the 2014 World Cup? Well, unlike a lot of Americans that actually pretend to give a shit about this once every 4 years, I don't. I think soccer is boring. Sure, it's my American perspective, but it's my perspective. I hate the fucking sport. I think it's fun to play. I think it's okay maybe to go watch in person, but on television? Let's watch 3 hours of hot, interesting action where it's more about the drunk hooligans fighting and getting into it in the crowd to this 0-0 tie. What an awesome soccer match this truly was on the pitch. Ah, shit. I don't give a fuck. Throw out a random country that will win 2014 World Cup. Let's say Brazil or Germany. Who gives a fuck? I do. Sorry, Burn Notice. I'm just telling you the truth, man. At C-Staff95, what are your thoughts on the Golden State Warriors firing Mark Jackson and signing Steve Kerr? So you're going to replace a head coach that actually did a little something who, yes, unfortunately couldn't get out of his own damn way, didn't get along with his assistant coaches and management, to bring in a guy who was largely a failed general manager to be a head coach. And you paid him a shit ton of more money to come in than what you were paying your previous coach. Yep, that's the type of stupid shit I would expect out of this stupid league today, period. At Dexter C73, do you agree with Jim Ross that tweeners don't make money? Now, you would think in theory that an individual the likes of Jim Ross, who was the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations for years for the WWE, would know and understand this. And therefore, as a result, you would think in theory that if he tells you that tweeners do not make money, then you would, by and large, be, inclined to believe him, wouldn't you? What's my problem with that? Does that apply to John Cena? Does that apply to most of the top guys, in particular the top babyfaces in today's WWE? I bet Jim Ross and other people that would agree with him would try to spin that in some other way. The bottom line is, if you get booed by some of the audience, you get cheered by some of the audience, that is not good. You are a fucking tweener. And not the type of design-designated tweener that can actually draw money. I dispute this whole notion of tweeners can't draw money. Maybe I would refer to them more as edgy baby faces or close to likable heels, not full-on tweeners. But John Cena, by definition, would be a fucking tweener. But yet a guy like Jim Ross would sit there and defend his positioning at the top month after month, year after year, all day long. But I thought tweeners didn't make any money. Again, sometimes emphasizing, and he's not the only one by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm calling it as I see it. Sometimes the people in the business that have been a part of the business are the biggest fucking idiots at all when it comes to certain things. You would think they should know better when they clearly don't. And there's clearly a double standard that only applies some of the time. By no measurement is John Cena anything other than a fucking tweener in today's WWE. And according to Jim Ross's logic, that doesn't make money. So according to that logic, that guy should no longer be at the top. Yet magically, John Cena will get all types of justification and defenses from a Jim Ross of why he should be on the top. Make any fucking sense to you? Didn't think so, doesn't make any to me either. And at V9X18 closes out this Q&A edition by asking, would you still watch pro wrestling if it wasn't for your YouTube channel? Sometimes I question, sometimes I wonder. Would I? Probably. Would I watch it religiously every single week and stick through every single show, primarily from beginning to end? Oh, fuck no. If I wasn't doing this show, there'd be a lot of Raws and a lot of pay-per-views that I'd deuce out on 40 minutes, an hour in on. And that's just the truth of the matter. So I probably still would watch it even if I wasn't doing OTRS Central, but I wouldn't watch as much of it, and I wouldn't as intently and intensely watch it, and wouldn't be as consistent in my viewing patterns. That I can assure you. Again, thanks to all of you that submitted your questions for this Q&A. Shame on Chase Oliver 68 for asking such a ridiculous question. You guys should also shame him in the comment section down below. That's ridiculous, Chase. I can't believe you would ask such things. You should apologize, and apologize immediately. Not only in the comments, but maybe making a video, basically paying your penance and asking for forgiveness for such a ridiculous notion. You guys want your questions answered every Monday, Wednesday, and or Friday. Go to Twitter, tweet your questions to @OTRSCentral using the hashtag OTRSCentral, and never ever ask any questions about a new version of the Breakfast Club, because there is no way anything could ever measure up to it ever. Ever. Chase.